Hello, dear students. Welcome to Trivesh IS Academy and myself Gaurav Gupta, your faculty for geography. So, in today's session, we will see the trend analysis of the last 10 years of the questions which have been asked in prelims and mains. We will see the trend, like from which areas they are asking maximum questions, which area needs to be more emphasized, on which area you can go with a smooth hand. So, let us start the session now. So the geography prelims analysis, and this is the analysis in which we are covering the time period of 2011 to 2020. So we can see that the basic concepts and the part of world geography. These two parts we are considering here, and the window is for 2011 to 2020. In this, you can see that from the portion of world map, that is the map based location based questions, they have asked around 26% of the total questions. Like for example, if in the last 10 years, if they have asked around 20 questions from this particular part, so out of these 20 questions, 26% questions have been basically from the world map part. Like for example, which area or how you need to cover this world map location based area. So basically any place which is in news. So if this that particular place is in news, so it's a basic duty, it's a moral duty of any UPSC aspirant to just check out the location of that particular place. Like for example, from the past couple of days, we are seeing that Afghanistan is in news due to various reasons, of course, due to the Taliban reason. So basically, this Middle East region and the West Asian part region, this again becomes very important and becomes the center of attraction of the entire world. It becomes the center of attraction for the entire media. So basically, these areas are in news right now. So we can expect one or two questions based on location from these particular regions. They can ask questions about related to the borders, countries making border with Afghanistan. They can ask you about the Iran issue also, right? They can ask you about the location of Iran or the adjoining Central Asian part countries, or they can ask the neighbors who are making border with Afghanistan, whether Afghanistan is a landlocked country or it is making any coastline. So these type of things are there. So for your kind information, do remember this thing that India is having border with Afghanistan. Yes, it may look surprising to many of you that how India is having border with Afghanistan, but the topmost part, the region which is basically occupied by Pakistan, this POK region. So this particular part is having border with Afghanistan. So yes, do remember this thing that officially India is having border with Afghanistan. So out of this, 26% questions have been asked from world map location based. Then from solar system, they are asking quite current based questions. Like they can ask about the Juno mission, they can ask about the Mars mission, and so on. Climatology, let us see the climatology and geomorphology. So geomorphology means the study of landforms, and one question can be expected from this part. So again, this is a foundation building part. This particular chapter, this is a foundation building chapter, and yes, from exam point of view, we can see that on an average, only one question is coming from this part. But overall, it is very necessary to develop the understanding of entire syllabus of geography. Then what is climatology? So climatology is study of climate. So yes, it is a very highly applied part, and at least two or two plus questions can be asked from this region. So it is very important. Areas like jet streams, so areas like pressure belts, right? Then the areas, then the topics like Indian monsoon, like the topics like El Nino, La Nina, topics like Median-Julian oscillation. So these are the areas which which requires basically significant attention, significant consideration by the aspirants. So now the next important part is oceanography. Yes, again this is a very important part. So it means study of oceans, and out of this you can get at least one question from this part. So again it is a very important part, oceanography. You can get question related to ocean currents, like maybe in 2014 or 15 they have asked about a counter equatorial current, that a counter equatorial current has been formed due to, and there were four options. So the answer was basically due to the Coriolis effect of the earth. Then the topics like biogeography. So biogeography is basically dealing with the biotic components, in which basically we are dealing with the organic components in geography. So basically this particular part will help you to cover the major portions of environment and ecology as well. And soil chapter is very important here. So basically, they are more fond of asking the Indian classification of soil, which has been given by ICAR, that is Indian Council for Agricultural Research. So the examiner is very fond of asking questions related to soil. And out of these soil also, two main soils are very important from which the questions have been asked. First one is the black soil, which is an all-time favorite for the examiner. And the second one is the alluvial soil. Third can be any laterite soil. It can be alkaline or saline soil also, right? Then we have the human geography part and economic geography part. So more or less these areas are having current based questions. A question related to any mineral policy, a question related to major and minor minerals. So these type of areas, these type of questions have been asked from these particular areas. So basically, if you really want to score well, so please do take care of these portions. They are very, very, very important. Now, if you see the question wise analysis, so in the world map location based questions, there were almost 26 questions in the last 10 years. Then out of solar system and earth science, there were 7 questions in the last 10 years. In geomorphology, they have asked around 13 questions. In climatology, they have asked around 24 questions. Oceanography, 13 questions. Biogeography, 5 questions. And human geography, 4 questions. And again, from economic geography, around 8 questions have been asked in the previous 10 years. Now, let us come to the second part, which is the most important and the most bulky part. So guys, what happens basically, like for example guys, examiner if examiner is about to ask around 20 questions from geography part, or for example, if UPSC is giving 20 questions in geography part, in geography section, so out of these 20 questions, almost 60% question will be alone from Indian geography part, and the rest will be from world geography and concept based geography. In concept based geography, it means they can ask questions from the areas of physical geography and then this world geography. So they combinedly constitutes around 40% of the total questions being asked from geography. Majority of the questions in geography are basically asked from Indian geography part. So they can ask you about the physical locations, they can ask you about the passes, they can ask you about the tribes which are residing in India and so on. I'll show you some questions also. Now, so in geographic prelims analysis, map-based questions have gained considerable importance right now. They have gained a significant importance right now because a number of questions have been asked from this particular part, right? Like the question has been related to, just hold on guys. So in this recent time, they have asked significant number of questions from map based areas. Like for example, they can ask a question like, if a person is going from Kohima to Kottayam, how many number of states he is likely to cross. Then they can ask you about the locations related to, like for example, Nubra Valley is located to the, or sorry, the recent question was that the Siachen Glacier is located to the option A, B, C, D. So the correct one was that the Siachen Glacier is located to the north of the Nubra Valley. Now Nubra River is basically originating from Siachen Glacier. So obviously, if there is a glacier like this and the river is originating here, so this part is the river valley part. So glacier is basically located to the northern side of Siachen Glacier. I hope you are getting this question. Now they can ask you questions. They have already asked questions like, for example, if Himalayan states are there, so on how many states Himalayan mountains have been spread? Like for example, they have asked like this Western Ghats. They have spread over the number of states. So they have given the name of states that they are extended over these states. So basically, you have to be very careful in this particular part. Your observation part should be very strong. If you are seeing that there is Western Ghats, so you should be very clear that how many states are being crossed by, or how many states have been occupied by Western Ghats. So Western Ghats are basically spread over 6 states of India. Yes, it is also occupying the part of Gujarat. Do remember this thing. Basically, Western Ghats starts from the line of Mahi River, right? Once the this is the Mahi River, so they are starting from the south of the Mahi River. So map-based questions, they have gained considerable importance these days. So be very careful from day one while dealing these type of questions. Then comes the physical features. Yes, one question is definitely for sure they are going to ask. Then the tribes and population. This is the most important part, and before and without this, they are not going to frame any question paper. So tribes and population, this is a very important part, guys, and one question will be definitely there from this particular part. Like in 2019, they have asked about the PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Then comes the river system part. So river system, there has been a significant shift. We can say that a new kind of trend have been there in the question pattern of river systems. Like for example, previously they were quite straightforward questions, like on one side you are getting the river and on the another side you are getting the tributary name, and you just have to identify whether the pair has been correctly matched or incorrectly matched, or at the max you have to match those pairs. But in recent time, what we have seen, that they are merging 3 4 concepts with rivers. Like for example, uh, like there is a national park, so they will be asking river plus national park plus any other famous place also, or either it can be a famous place or it can be a dam also. So like first statement will be there, that the source of the river is XYZ. Then they will ask you that this river drains this particular national park. And third one is that the ABC dam, let's say the name of the dam is ABC. So the ABC dam is basically located on this particular river. So there are three statements, and now they can ask you that which of the given statement is are correct or incorrect. So accordingly, you have to choose the options. So basically, they are merging 3 4 related facts with river part. For example, let's simplify this thing. So the Shabrimala temple was in news in recent times, right? From if we skip this pandemic situation, so till the end of 2019, Shabrimala temple was in news. So if it was in news, so obviously if UPSC is going to ask question, how they will ask? First one is the Shabrimala. Consider the following statement with respect to the Shabrimala temple. First statement will be that it is located in 18 Hills complex of Southern Hill complex, right? Then the second statement will be that this temple is located on the bank of Pamba River. Third, this particular temple is located in the range of Periyar Tiger Reserve. Now, which of the statement given above is are correct? So all three statements are correct. So there is a Southern Hill Complex section in the Western Ghats, and of that Southern Hill Complex part, there is another section, subsection known as 18 Hill Complex, in which Shabrimala Temple is located. Then Pamba River is the tributary of Periyar River, and yes, it is located on the bank of Pamba River. And the third one is that yes, it is located in the range of Periyar Tiger Reserve. So this is how they are going to ask you question. Now, apart from this, transport and trade part. So transport and trade, so this forms a current affairs part question, right? There can be any policy, there can be any project which they can ask in under this section. They are not going to ask about the length or the width of the railway lines. Be very clear about these things, but they can ask you about the schemes, any particular scheme, a project. Let's say for example, Golden Quadrilateral project, East West North South corridor. Then they can ask about the Diamond Quadrilateral. They can ask you about the you know uh, Setu Bharatam project or Bharat Mala project. They can ask you about the Kaladan multimodal transit system. So these things are there which from which they can ask you question. Then the resources and industry. Yes, very important conceptual part. And again, an applied form of question can be there. Agriculture, the most important. And in the recent time, in the last year question paper, agriculture portion has been of very huge importance, and around 8 9 questions were there which have been asked from this agricultural part. So might be possible that in the upcoming session or in these new sessions, the institutes or the organizations which are imparting educational training to the IAS aspirants, they might come out with a separate module for agriculture part. So agriculture part has become very important these days. We can expect in the couple of years, like there can be around 10 or 12 questions from this part every year. Like what happens, UPSC tries to make a trend. They will, like last year they've asked 8 questions. In the next year might be possible they can ask you around 9 questions or 10 questions. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, and suddenly they will drop ask the questions from this particular part. So once they set the trend, and after that they breaks the trend. So this is the, this is the modus operandi of UPSC. So basically be very careful with this thing. Agriculture part has gained much significance in the recent time. So you should be very clear about the agricultural schemes, agriculture techniques as well, types of farming, then zero, what is the meaning of zero tillage farming, all these things should be clear in your mind. Then comes the part of soil. Yes, already we have discussed this thing, that soil is very important part, and there it can be one question on every alternate year. Like for example, if the examiner has asked a particular question related to soil in 2018, then we can expect that next time he is going to ask from this part in 2020. So be very careful with this thing, this particular part also. And overall you have to just remember 8 types of soil, like the soil, like alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, and so on. Then comes the vegetation. Yes, again a very important part. And they ask very, a kind of descriptive type of question in MCQs. Like they will be asking you if a person is moving from plain areas towards the hilly regions of Himachal Pradesh. So which of the following variety of trees will appear first and subsequently? So basically these type of questions have been asked from this. And again, this is a very applied part. So yes, we can expect one question from this part also. And climate. So obviously climate is going to be asked from Indian part also. So you should be very particular, you should be very clear about the mechanism of monsoon. They can ask you about the positive Indian Ocean dipole, negative Indian Ocean dipole. They can ask you about the El Nino part or the La Nina part. They can ask you about the Madden Julian oscillation also. They can ask you about the monsoon burst part also. And there can be some basic questions related to climate also. So be very careful with this particular part also. This is also a very important section. Now, this is the year-wise breakup of the questions. So after going through the trend, we can say that on an average, they are asking around 15 questions per year. Although last year the number of questions have dropped significantly, but that doesn't mean that geography is not important, because if you see the direct questions, so yes, there were around 8 to 9 direct questions. If you see the indirect questions, so that can go about 16, right? So basically, yes, geography is a very important part, and this is the trend which is being made by UPSC, that either they will suddenly stop asking questions from a particular section, and suddenly they can be jump in the number of questions from that particular area. Like here you can see that in 2012, around 18 questions have been asked from this geographical part, right? So be very careful about these things, guys. Now, mains, let us do some mains analysis also, like in mains which particular areas are important. So climate change and its effect, yes, very important part. Then the distribution of key natural resources, agriculture, then the industrial location, like if textile industries are located to the western side of the India, why they are located in the western side, why they are not located in the eastern side or in the southern side. Like for example, if the sugar industry or the sugar mills, if they are established in the northern India and now they are shifting towards the south India, so what is the reason behind that? Then the land and water resources. So the questions like water stress, water scarcity, these are the questions which can be asked from this particular area. So this is a very, very, very important part. Then comes the oceanography, in which the current based topics will be more in news, will be asked here. Like for example, they can ask you about the coral bleaching, they can ask you about the oil zappers, or they can even ask about the ocean currents and the ocean water mass and the significant difference between them. Then the transport and trade, human settlement, these are current based parts. So obviously we can have some questions from this particular part also, like the topics related to urbanization or the topics related to mass rapid transit systems, then the origin of earth. Yes, one question can be there, and this is a purely concept based topic. So this is a purely concept based topic. Now let us have a look at the syllabus. So as far as syllabus is concerned for prelims, so it is a just a 1.5 line syllabus. So if you are a serious aspirant, just ignore this syllabus. No need to read this particular syllabus. Just directly jump over to the GS main syllabus, because this is the actual content which you need to prepare. If you are having a clear hand over this particular part, then definitely your answer, you will be very comfortable to answer questions in prelims, and you will be very comfortable to answer questions in mains also. So basically the prelims paper is highly concept based. If you are having good hand over the syllabus of GS mains, so in that case basically automatically you will be at a safer side in prelims as well, right? So basically guys, we are going to start a GS foundation batch. We are going to start a GS foundation batch in which we'll be covering the entire last 10 year question papers. Then there will be daily answer writing sessions and lots more things, and there will be top faculties which are going to offer classes here. So for more information you can contact on the number given here, right? So salient features of world's physical geography, then the distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, and the important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclones, etc. Then the geographical features and their locations, changes in critical geographical features, including water bodies and ice caps, and in flora and fauna, and the effects of such changes. So in cut short, basically the topics are quite interlinked with each other, and you have to make a very holistic study while dealing with the syllabus of GS geography part. And there is no separate syllabus for prelims or mains as far as the preparation part is concerned. So you have to directly jump over the mains part, and if you are having good hand over this particular part, then definitely you can excel in this exam also. Now most of you ask about, sir, which book we should read. So yes, these are some basic books which you need to read. Like you can refer GC Leong. It will give you some confidence over physical geography part. Then NCRTs from 9 to 12 class. They are sufficient. No need to go with 6 to 12. In case if you are getting some problem, if you are not getting a clear grip over the basic concepts, in that case only you can go with the 6 to 12 class NCRT. Otherwise 9 to 12 NCRT, they are more than sufficient. Then there should be one book, Indian and World Geography with you, which is being written by Majid Hussain sir. This is a very good book. You can just purchase this book, or you can issue this book from library also. Then there's Oxford School Atlas, Orient Longman, Black Swan. So at least one atlas should be there, and if you are having two atlas, then that will be an addition add-on factor, that will be an icing on the cake. Then the articles which is being written in geography and you and down to earth, they are very 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 important. And basically just keep one thing in your mind, that geography plus environment and ecology, these sections needs to be covered in a holistic manner, in an interlinked manner. So basically there are certain topics which are quite overlapping between geography and environment and ecology. So these articles are also quite overlapping. They will be overlapping with the topic of geography as well as environment and ecology, but please study these topics in a holistic manner, because combinedly around 32 questions are being asked from this particular area. So yes, it is very very important. Then various reports published time to time by some important international organizations, like like if there is any report related to population, if there is any report related to urbanization, if there is any report related to water scarcity, if there is any report related to the conservation of flora and fauna, or if there is any report related to endangered species. So just you should have a glimpse, you should have an idea, some basic idea about those reports, and just try to maintain a table of these reports. And as and whenever you are writing answer for main exam, you can quote examples from these reports. You can quote these reports to support your statement, and seriously, in this way, you will be able to score good marks in this particular section. So, guys, if you see the cutoff from 2015 onwards, the cutoff pattern is like this. In 2018, the cutoff for general category was 98. Then in 2017 it was 105.34. In 16 it was 116, and in 2015 the cutoff was 107.34. So basically, on an average, you should secure at least your target should be to around to correct at least 80% of the questions. If you are correcting at least 80% of the questions, I think you would be quite confident when you're coming out from the examination hall, and with a very cute smile on your face. Yes, that you itself, you are sure that you are going to crack this prelims, and you will be very enthusiastic, you will be very more energetic when you are knowing that you are going to crack the prelims. Then you will be more energetic to prepare for mains as well. So guys, I hope you like this session well. Me, Gaurav Gupta, your faculty for geography, will see you soon in the next session. Till then, keep learning, keep watching Trivesh IS Academy. Bye bye, take care, good night.